reports, so if you please would rise for prayer, followed by pledge of allegiance. Father God, you know why we are here. You know the hearts of all men and women. Remind us today of the urgency of being prepared to serve our human beings in time of need. Help us as helping agents always to be available to the collective as well as the individual needs of others in times of emergency and when people are in stressful and hurting situations. Give us an understanding of the reasons why we exist and serve. We affirm today, O Lord, that a better community and a better Randolph County and a better America begins with us. Bless now this gathering. May God bless Randolph County and God bless America. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thank you. So we'll get started. Meeting called to order for agenda business. And first we have a public comment. We have anyone signed up for?
No, sir, no one on both.
All right, thank you, sir. Okay, we have no one for public comments, so we'll go to the meetings. Or minutes. How many sets do we have?
Just one. Just one. I make a motion that we accept the minutes from the March 4th meeting of the County Commission as presented.
We got a motion on the floor to accept the March 4th minutes as presented. That's from the last Randolph County Commission meeting. And any discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next we have reports. Phyllis, do you have anything to report? No. Okay. Kurt, you have any?
report.
Sheriff, you have any reports?
Would just like to report that, that after you approved our ballistic vests, we put those on order. And, it's about a 60-day wait to get those once they cut them and size them to each person. But, they are ordered and thank you.
Very good. Thank you. Rick, do you have any reports?
No, sir, but as always, Congressman's always here to help if he can. Please feel free to give us contact anytime, especially those that are putting in for grant assistance. The Congressman would be more than happy to have their support. And also, I'd like to make sure that you're aware that Todd is here from Senator Capito's office. He might have a report from the Senator's office, so I'll yield to him.
Okay.
I do not have a report from Senator Capito. I'm just kind of here visiting and making sure that the line of communication's open. I wanted to, we haven't really traveled for the past year due to COVID, and we've just started kind of traveling throughout the community again, and I wanted to reach out and just, I'll bring up my cards here after the meeting and make sure you all have my cell phone number. And I talk to Mark pretty regularly, but I just kind of wanted to come up here and pay you all a visit.
Okay.
Happy to be here.
We appreciate you being
Now,
here.
this is Senator Capito's intern, Skylar Stover. He's a
Skylar.
graduate at WU, just graduated this December, so he's with us.
Congratulations. Cindy, you have anything to report?
We received a large truckload of supplies yesterday, and we distributed most of it already out.
Okay.
Was it like 19 pallets?
Excuse me?
Was it like 19 pallets?
It was supposed to be 19 pallets. I think we ended up with 11.
That's good.
Yeah, so we had room for it all, and just went out about as quick as we
In
got.
and out.
Amen. So we should be getting another one in 3 weeks.
Very good. Carla, Brenda, leave any reports, anything?
No, sir.
Anyone else have anything to report? Rick?
I didn't add this earlier to my previous comment, but I just wanted to let y'all know, Congressman Mooney, part of our standard operating procedure with our counties, whenever there's a big rain event, we call our offices of emergency management to make sure that they're aware we're standing by in case they need us, even though we know they're gonna continue with the standard protocol and procedure for a major event like that. But I just wanted to let y'all know that Cindy and her staff are always very, very friendly and responsive to my phone calls. I feel like sometimes I'm you know, they're in the middle of something, roads are flooded and everything, but at the same time, we want them to know that the county knows we're still here, but she does a great job, she's always very receptive, direct, lets me know, you know, what's going on, if they need anything, and
Did you say direct?
direct, yes, yes.
Cindy?
Yeah.
Yes, yes, this is not a paid endorsement, this is out of the goodness of my heart for her
I
and her staff,
appreciate
because they
that.
do a great job, and they're also, held in high esteem by their peers with other counties as well.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you. Anybody else have anything? We do have a report from Erin, from Community Correction dropped her report off, but she couldn't stick around, so she said she just for us to look over. She had to go to court, so she couldn't be here. Okay, we'll move on then to correspondence. Anybody have any correspondence? Nope. Announcements, next meeting will be
April 1st.
April 1st? April 1st? Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. We may be here, we may not. It's April 1st, 2021 at 1:30, right here. Next meeting. Okay, next we have items for discussion and action. And we have an informational presentation from NECCO. I believe somebody is here to speak. If you would, step up to the podium, please.
Yeah, nice to meet you, Kyle.
Yeah, good to see you too.
Do I need to leave my mask on to?
You can take it off.
You get there.
So my name is Leah, I'm with NECO,
Mhm.
and we are a social services agency that's in Kentucky, West Virginia, Georgia, and Ohio. We started in 1996 as a primary foster care agency, but now we also do residential living, independent living. We do therapy services for families. So we follow the children from foster care all the way through adulthood, and then their families that surround. And that's actually our tagline, is we build families.
Mhm.
So we build families through foster care and adoption, which I am also a foster parent and an adoptive parent. So my family's been built that way. We build families by helping these parents that maybe have seen bad habits and learned, you know, not necessarily the best ways to live, by helping them restructure their lives and hopefully reunify with their children and get better at what they do. And then if they can't, we build families through adoption. And then we also build families, our NECO family, with our foster parents, with people like me that work for NECO and become part of the overreaching, you know, NECO family here. So NECO is just a wonderful agency all around, and we just recently opened an office in Elkins, and so we are now in all 4 places in West Virginia, so we are everywhere now. So we're building everything in Elkins. We've had a really good response so far. I don't know if you guys have seen my signs around, but that's me and my kids out putting out signs. They love it. It's their favorite part of my job. But what I really wanted to talk to you guys about today is just that we really need foster parents. More than anything in the world, we need more foster parents. When I became a foster parent in 2017, there were around 4,000 children in state care in West Virginia. And when I talked to my social worker the other day, we're at 7,700 now and counting. So we're losing kids every year to guardianships, to adoptions, to aging out of the system. We're losing, you know, children from that number, and then we are replacing them again and again and again. So this pandemic, you know, the thing that we're dealing with now, the kids have gone back to school full time as of 2 weeks ago, and we're all bracing for impact because teachers are our #1 mandated reporters. They're the ones that see these kids every single day and are making these calls. And surprisingly, our numbers did decline a little bit, our referrals over the last year. They stayed pretty steady, which was surprising. You know, we thought they would plummet without the teachers seeing things. But they stayed pretty steady. So you can see the state of things that we have now. We've got a lot of children that really just need help and support. And now that the teachers and everything's back in school, we're just waiting for these numbers to skyrocket. So, you know, I have children in my home. I'm doing as much as I can. And I know that there are so many people in West Virginia, in Elkins and Randolph County and the surrounding counties, that are able and capable to take in these foster children and to give them, you know, a normal life while they have them. I think they just don't know how easy it is to become a foster parent, and maybe they don't know the need, how desperately we do need people. And I'm talking on behalf of the state of West Virginia, you know, not NECO. We're here to support them and help them come along, but the need is just here, whether we're here or not. I mean, these kids need somewhere to go. They need a bed to lay their head on. Our biggest need is for parents that are able to take ages 10 to 18. A lot of people that I talk to, they want little babies, and I understand, you know, that's, you know, in an ideal situation, you could just go pick up a baby when you're ready for a baby, and that sounds all nice and wonderful, but that's just not how it works. These kids, you know, we say teens deserve their first too. I know you want a baby, you want to watch them take their first step, but we have some teens where they get their first birthday cake, when they come into some of our foster homes. My hair's standing up on my arms just talking about it, because that's a true story. There's so many things, like their first time eating at a nice restaurant. We had a dine and discuss at 1863 Appalachian Bistro the other day, and that was wonderful. But I'm sitting there eating thinking how many times and how many nice restaurants I've sat in, and then we have these kids that have never had the opportunity to sit down and have a steak. And you know, it's so silly and so simple, but they need to learn how to load a dishwasher. They need to learn how to make their bed. They need to learn how to manage, you know, the little bit of money that they get, because soon they will be aging out. And if they choose not to sign themselves in to stay in until they're 21, then they're on their own, and the majority of these kids go straight into adult homeless shelters. And that's just further perpetuating this pandemic that we have going on with the drug crisis and everything, and then they are having babies that are going into the system, and these numbers are just skyrocketing over and over and over again. So I just wanted to let you guys know that we're here. The need is desperate. If you know of anyone that has ever considered becoming a foster parent, or that has an extra bedroom, or empty nesters are our favorites. We love empty nesters because they know what they're doing. They've parented before. They can bring these teens in and teach them the right way. And a lot of things I like to say about teens too is they are very, very grateful for everything that you give them. We have a lot of parents that are scared to take in teens. They're scared, like, oh, what if they hurt my child? What if they make a false allegation? You know, we have all these things and misconceptions that go around. But 9 times out of 10, these kids are just happy to have a bed. And a clean house, you know, that's something that is huge for these kids. Like, just to know that they're not going to have roaches crawling on their plate at night, if they even have anything to eat at all. So there's so many things that we as individuals, even in this room, can offer that is really taken for granted. You know, like me sitting down eating my steak the other night, I'm like, a kid would be happy with some chicken tenders sitting here with me. Just to be here, have my company, have the food. So there's so much, and I think there's so many families out there that can do it, and I just want them to know that we're here. My personal cell phone number is listed all over the internet and all the Facebook yard sale pages. If any of you all are on Facebook, you've probably seen me all over the place yelling and shouting, please foster. I'm available 24/7 all the time. Text me, call me. And all of our foster care classes right now are online. So you literally do it from home over 9 weeks. It's incredibly easy to get licensed. And we hold your hand through the whole process. We're here, and we are happy to support you. It does not cost anything. It's free to become a foster parent. The state provides you a monthly stipend to take care of the child. Healthcare is covered. It's not a financial obligation on these parents whatsoever. It's just their time, their attention, their patience, things that we all have plenty of, even if we don't want to admit that we do. Because we stay so busy. I have 5 children at home, so I stay busy all the time. But you know, I did it, and if I did it, then I know that many other people can do it. So we're here, and I'm happy to answer any questions, and I brought some business cards and materials too to leave with you guys. So if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Now, I've been seeing your signs, and you're doing a good
Have
job
you?
with that. We've been seeing them all over,
Thank
so
you.
yeah.
My kids love to hear that when somebody calls and says they saw a sign. They're like, I put that one out.
And you can tell you're very passionate about it too.
Oh, I love it. I mean, I adopted my son on February 4th, and actually sent it to Mr. Duesenberry. WBOY covered my son's adoption, so you can look that up. He was 18 months old when I got him. He was 40% delayed across the board, nonverbal, and now he learned how to ride a bike with no training wheels at 2 years old. So it just took a couple months. I mean, that gets me very passionate and very emotional, because I took this child that I thought, what am I doing? You know, it's my first child that I'd ever had, and I didn't know how I was going to parent. And all it took was some care and somebody that had no idea what they were doing at all, totally winging it. And he's an incredible kid now. He starts T-ball next week. He's going into pre-K in the fall. He tested out of birth to 3 after so long because he just caught right back up. The same with the little baby that I have now. She screamed for 2 months straight and just screamed. So I just wore her on me, and now she's a normal kid. So it's not as difficult or as scary, especially with reunification. My youngest is probably going to reunify, and that's something that's very scary for a lot of parents too. They say, I fall in love with them. How am I going to give them back? And I think once you're in the situation, once you have that child in your home and you're talking about, you know, little Leah, you know, you're just worried about feeding her. You're just worried about getting her to school. You're worried about getting her in dance classes and giving her a normal life. And hopefully all the work that you put into her, you know, her little brain starts to heal. We teach our parents about trauma in the brain. The brain does heal. It's an incredible, incredible thing. And if you can get these kids out of these situations, their brains heal. You can work on their parents, get their parents' brains to heal. So if they do reunify, they go back with these skills, and hopefully it's a healthy family unit. And that's what we want. And a lot of times it doesn't happen. I mean, to be honest, you know, they just keep having children, and don't wanna do it the right way, but then we do have people that do, you know, we are what we learn and what we're taught. And so a lot of parents, I'm sure you guys can all relate to people in your communities that you think that's a third generation situation right there. So if we can get in there and start, even if it's just the child that you get in your home and change those habits and change those mindsets, you've literally ricocheted that entire family for every future generation. So the smallest impact is huge. I mean, if you are the arm that becomes the hand that is the foster parent, if you know someone, if you have a grandmother or an aunt or a sister-in-law or a brother-in-law, you know, anybody that has been interested and you reach out to them and they get licensed, your impact then ricochets throughout that entire child's life and their children, their cousins, their family members. There is no impact that is too small. And that's something that I don't think people realize, that that can be your legacy. Even if you're the only one that knows that you did that, you go to the grave with that. And how wonderful is that to know that that's what's left in the world after you go. So yeah, it's super easy to become a foster parent now, and I'm happy to talk to anybody about it because I love fostering. I love, of course, adopting. I love my son so much. I love my kids that are in my home. But yeah, we're here. I'm here, Leah. My cell phone number's everywhere. So I hope that if anybody sees this, that they reach out anytime, and I'm happy to call, text, email, Facebook. Any way you can get a hold of me, I'm here.
Thank you.
What's your name, Leah?
Leah Smith.
Smith.
Yes, and I'm the recruiter. I cover 8 counties, but we're out of Elkins, so anything in this surrounding area comes to me.
Very good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you guys so much.
Next, we have item B on the agenda, and that is consider hire of 2 part-time employees for the 911 center. We have Cindy Hart here to tell us about our new employees.
Well, that's hard to follow.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm requesting to hire 2 part-time employees. The first one is Marshall Hauser. He'll have, part-time, no county benefits. They will be on 90 days probation and extended if needed. To get their training requirements, he will be paid, $9.94 an hour, and in the current budget will cover his wages. I request that his appointment begin on March 19th, which is Monday. I think. Probably a typo. Let me see.
Is it tomorrow?
Maybe Friday.
Yes, Friday, they say.
Maybe
Yeah.
that's wishful thinking. All right, just switch that to Friday. We did a background check on him, and we actually, called the references, of course, and, I had the sheriff check over the background check, and there didn't seem to be anything out of place. So, can we do both of them?
I think they're the same, though, aren't they? Everything's the same.
Yes, it is.
Pay scale.
The second one is Richard Hamrick. Again, just requesting part-time work, which is wonderful, because that's actually what I need. Sometimes I only need coverage for 4 hours, and that'll save down on my overtime a lot. Again, pay $9.94 an hour. We checked his references. Background check, the sheriff checked the background, and it was unremarkable. That's all I have on that.
All right.
Okay, I make a motion that we approve the hiring of Marshall Hauser as a part-time employee with no county benefits, placed on a probationary period. Starting pay is $9.94, and employment begins Friday, March 19th. I also, like to add Richard Hamrick as a part-time employee, no county benefits, 90-day probationary period, $94 an hour, and his employment also begins on Friday, March 19th.
Okay, so we got a motion on the floor to approve the hiring of Marshall Hauser and Richie Hamrick as a part-time employee with no county benefits, and on a 90-day probationary period with a salary of $9.94 an hour, and starting date of Friday, March 19th, 2021. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, all say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, same sign.
Thank you.
I hope they work out.
I do too. You know, Brenda, then I'll probably have them come in Monday. And that way, they can get their paperwork from them.
Okay.
Do they need to come down over to the clerk's office? Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Next, we have consider purchase of online fire tax collection software. Okay, this is something that the fire board has been discussing for, well, just about ever since they started fire fees. But they weren't sure if they would pay for itself or not. They finally voted that they got a price of a one-time fee of $2,400. They would piggyback off the sheriff's software. The price of one-time fee of $2,400 and then $75 a month thereafter. And they had at the board, let's see, this week ago today, the fire board had a meeting and approved the purchase of the software to take credit cards for the fire fees in the sheriff's office. I think the sheriff agreed to let them piggyback off of that.
Yes, sir.
Which I think is great, I mean, because there's a lot of people who just use debit cards or credit cards, and they can do it online too. So that's where we're at for that part.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we approve the purchase of the online, tax collection for the fire fee taxes, and
Okay.
it's paid for by the fire fee, is that correct?
The fire board's gonna pay for this part over here, yes, for the fire fee part of it. So we got a motion on the floor to approve the purchase of the online fire tax collection software in the amount of $2,400 with a $75 a month payment. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign, motion carries. We need to give this to clerk. Sure. Okay, next we have consider contribution toward purchase of the K-9 for the sheriff's department.
I think the sheriff has Bryce Coder
Yeah,
wishing to speak.
he would like to do it by phone if we can do it. He worked night shift last night. So
Yeah, we can put it up here by the speaker.
hopefully he answers this one. It's got two phones.
He's over here, seeing her name pop up.
Well, this is his work phone. He may have it off and charging. Yeah, nothing like.
We may have to call him for the answers.
Hang on just a second.
So I think Sarah's calling back afterward.
There's, looks like he's trying to call me back. There you go. Sorry about that, guys. Bryce,
Yes, sir.
you're live in the meeting.
Oh, great. You guys ready for me to just go ahead? Or?
Yes.
Yeah, carry on.
Okay, well, first I want to apologize for not being there in person, but I would like to thank you guys for taking the time to listen. I'll introduce myself. My name is Bryce Coder. I am the president of the Randolph County Deputy Sheriff's Association. And this spring, we decided as an association to begin a fundraising campaign in order to purchase a K-9 to donate back to the sheriff's office. We felt that this would be a great benefit for the community. It would help in community relations, officer and citizen safety. It would help in tracking, and of course it would help in the detection of narcotics. We set a goal of $25,000, broke it down, roughly $18,000 for the K-9 and the training, and about $7,000 for the equipment and expenses. We are working with an outfit out of Ohio called K-9 Working Dogs International, and thus far, with the help of many businesses and even local private donors, we've been able to raise enough for the down payment, which allowed us to go ahead and send one deputy up to start training and to get paired up with a K-9. So now we come before you guys just to see if, if you would like to help out in any way.
How much have you raised?
We have raised $7,100 as of yet.
Okay.
Yeah, we got an email from the Deputy Sheriff's Association, it wasn't asking for a contribution, and we've kicked it around. We know it's could be great for the county, the community, like I say, to have a canine, help, especially in the fight against the drugs. We discussed it, and we come up with an amount.
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion that, we support the purchase of the canine for the sheriff's department in an amount of $12,500, which would be half of what the initial $25,000. Taken out of, we're gonna take it out of the COVID?
We could take it out of COVID fund.
Take it out of the COVID funding.
Okay, got a motion on the floor to contribute $12,500 toward the purchase of the canine for the sheriff's department, which will be taken out of the COVID funding. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
So there you go, Bryce, $12,500.
Now get you on
All
motion.
right, guys, I thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Bryce, thank you. Thanks, Sheriff.
So is that him?
That's him.
Pretty dull.
His name is Hacker.
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 They get hacked your arm off, looks like.
Kind of dog is he?
He's a German Shepherd.
Okay, next we move on to item E, and that's consider approval of fiduciary commissioner's recommendation on the estate of Carolyn Thompson.
Yeah, E and F kind of go together. These were two separate estates that Jeff Triplett held hearings for. He has recommendations for both of them. He's notified all the beneficiaries and the personal representatives. No objections have been filed with us, so if you want to read over his recommendations and
Sure.
go from there.
We have two of them, and have another fiduciary commissioner's recommendation on the estate of Helen Cleo Arbogast.
This one, that's that one. You read that one, I'll take this one. And then we can flip.
I don't see any problem with either one of them, so if that's.
That one, they tried to get a hold of, no one responded back. This one, they worked it out. So, yeah, I'll make a motion that we'll do them separately or all together.
It doesn't matter, you can do them, just do them together.
All right, I make a motion that we, accept the, fiduciary commissioner's recommendation on the estate of Carolyn Tompkins and on the estate of Helen Cleo Arbogast.
Okay, got a motion on the floor to approve the fiduciary commissioner's recommendation on the estates of Carolyn Tompkins and Helen Cleo Arbogast. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next, we have on the agenda, we have item G, and that's consider proposal for purchase of tasers for law enforcement. And I believe the sheriff's done
Yes, sir.
speaking in it, I guess.
You want me to
Would
say-
you like to talk
Yeah,
talk
just-
about the,
This is huge for our department. It gives us another step level in force, when we're out here dealing with the public. And it's, you know, we go from our spray and physical contact to, your firearm. So this will give us another step level, to be able to handle people that are out of control or that we're having to deal with. That's, it's gonna make a big difference for our department.
so right now you don't have any tasers at all in this.
Now, there was some, tasers someone donated to the sheriff's department before I got here. I think there was seven or eight of them. They're not complete, there's no charging units with them, there's nothing to make them functional. We would've had to spend about $6,000 just to be able to try to see if these would work. So, the proposal that you have has a 5-year, warranty system with these. They supply all the cartridges and anything that happens. If something happens to one of these units, we call them, they immediately ship us one, and we return the broken one or disabled one back to them. And, so we're never out. So it's a good thing. We thank you for this.
Is there any training on this? Does that definitely have to do training?
I already have one guy certified to teach
Okay.
a class, and with this program that we're getting, you get an Oculus headset, for virtual reality training. There's a suit that comes with it that a person can wear, and any of you guys can volunteer if you like, so you can run and we can shoot you.
I'm not that fast anymore.
It's called a hook and loop system to
Then
where
you'll be an easy target.
the barbs in the taser are actually hooked to the suit, so you can see where, if you got a good connection when, it's training, and it also has online support where you can go online and download different training scenarios to put that person into with the virtual reality, so they know what, you know, how to use this thing before we ever really start using them, so.
And this is for the court security officers as well?
Court security will have them as well. Everyone knows they're in the courtrooms, and I would much rather a taser be deployed in that courtroom versus a firearm, unless the force level requires a firearm. If you can, you know, so this is a big deal for our department.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think the president of the commission is the one that's gonna be the target. That's part of his job.
I'll make that motion.
That's a good deal.
I'll make the motion. All right, so I'll make a motion that we approve the purchase of the tasers for the sheriff's department. And, there's two amounts here. Now, if we pay we get a discount, and it's $74,499.37 is the total that, I'd say we take it out of the COVID funding as well.
COVID funding, yes.
So again, I'll make the motion that we approve the purchase of tasers for law enforcement in the amount of $74,499.37.
Okay. Got a motion on the floor to approve the purchase of tasers for the deputy sheriffs and court security officers in the amount of $74,499.37, which will be taken out of COVID funding. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. How long does it take to get them? About 6 weeks, you say?
I know the vests are a couple months. I'm not sure the time on this, but, we will definitely tell them that it was approved and ask them what the timeline is.
Okay. Yeah.
And we're gonna try to set up a training seminar, for the region, since we're getting these in, when they bring them in. Because we get 2 more training positions with the purchase, we'll train 2 more officers. So if I've got, one of my older guys, Brian, is an instructor now. If he retires in 3, 4, 5 years, or whenever he goes, I'll have some younger guys that keep the training so that everything stays certified.
Does the city police carry tasers?
City police do have tasers. They've, since, we've been talking about this, have contacted me. They're interested in the same taser we just bought, because it's the newest thing out. And I anticipate they'll probably be looking at getting those too. So we're trying to have a training
Yeah,
for
everybody.
our region,
Okay,
basically.
well, good.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next we have item H, and that's consider replacement of rooftop unit for the James F. Kane Annex. And this is a unit we've been told it's on its last leg, go at any time. We've been putting it off, we're afraid something's gonna happen, especially in the summertime, with this air conditioning, that's usually when they go out, when it's the hottest. And we've been warned as it is starting.
And it's in Phyllis's office. No, it's in Parker's office.
We have to have air.
No, it's in Parker's office.
It's what?
It's in Parker's office.
Yeah, it's one that runs, it's one that runs upstairs office.
Well, he has to have air too.
There's a lot of hot air in there, so.
So instead of kicking the can down the road, we're gonna fix it.
Yeah, instead of waiting for the breaks and trying to hurry up and get it done.
All right, so I make a motion that we approve the replacement purchase of the rooftop unit for our annex building. And its amount is $14,280, and it's taken out of courthouse contractual, is that right?
Is that what we said? I think so.
Courthouse contractual.
Courthouse contractual. Okay, got a motion on the floor to approve the replacement of rooftop unit for the James F. Kane Annex. And the amount of this labor and unit total is $14,280, which will be taken out of courthouse contractual. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay.
We appreciate you guys buying the one for the Weiss Annex building, at the last meeting. It was 80 degrees in there yesterday. So they haven't fixed it yet, but we appreciate it.
Yeah, it's on the way. In the mail.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
Let's see, you want this one? Okay. The last item is consider request to take aerial photos of Randolph County. And Phyllis, would you like to speak to this one, please?
Well, Randolph County has been very diligent, I'll remove this, about keeping our aerial photography up to date. We typically do it about every 3 years. Our last aerials were flown in 2018. But because of COVID, there wasn't anything happening this year, so, that we could get in on. So, I'm requesting that we fly new aerials in the spring of 2022, and we are very fortunate in that there is a state contract now for aerial photography through WVU and Blue Mountain, who is the same company who flew our aerials last time. So we can get in on aerial photography in the spring of 22, and it'll actually be a 6-inch resolution where we had a 12-inch before. So it'll be, better than what we had before. The cost is $37,404, and it is a state contract, so we do not have to put out bids. Putting out bids on aerials is very time consuming, and we usually don't get very many bids because Randolph County is so large. Not a lot of people want to fly Randolph County. So I'm requesting that we do that. The money will be divided. I've talked to Mark and the commission about this. We can divide the cost 3 ways. I'll pay a third of it out of my assessor vow fund, because that is the basis of our mapping system, and it's just something we can't do without. And 911 will pay a third, and the county commission has agreed to pay a third.
When we was doing the budget with Cindy Parks here from 911, that's what she said, she has the money to take it out.
Cindy and I have an agreement from years ago. We have a server that we actually put the aerials on, and she can access the server and I can access the server, and we can exchange information that's helpful to both of us. We also use my mapping system from the assessor's office for the dilapidated buildings and the fire fee information. So it's very beneficial for everybody.
And if someone else builds a house out there and they don't come in, you can catch them.
Right, well, yeah, that helps too.
Okay, you have any questions?
So, no, so you just need approval to, take the photos, or is that what you're, for the motion?
It's a letter, given the approval to fly aerial photography at a 6-inch resolution under state contract for Randolph County.
Okay, so I make a motion that, I'll read the letter. Okay, I make a motion that we approve, the aerial flying photography at a 6-inch resolution under a state contract for our county. Cost is $37,404. It'll be divided in 3 ways: county commission, assessor, and 911. We'll equally share that.
I have to read it, I can't remember all that. Okay, got a motion on the floor to approve the aerial photography at the 6-inch resolution under a state contract for Randolph County, and the cost is $37,404. And this will be shared 3 ways between the assessor's office, the county commission, and the 911 center. Any discussion? Hearing none, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, all. Motion passes. So you wanna wait till Mark gets back and sign this, or you want?
That's what we did last year, so I just did it the same way, so that's fine.
Okay,
Yeah, that he can stamp it, I can stamp it.
yeah, we could stamp it, you gotta stamp it, you gotta stamp it, don't you, bro?
I've already talked to Blue Mountain and they put us on their list.
Okay,
so,
okay,
but-
good,
but
very
they
good,
do
Jules.
need that letter.
Okay,
Okay,
thank you.
uh-huh.
Well, that's it for the regular agenda. Does anybody, you have anything you'd like to say, or?
My name is Lloyd Strobeck. I live in South Elkins,
Uh-huh.
Edgewater.
Uh-huh.
And the situation I'm going to describe in a way I saw again in January and then yesterday coming into town. I pulled up to the red light just as it changed and I stopped. I looked across the intersection that way and a lady was wrestling with the dog inside her car. She was waiting for the green light that way. She took the dog and put it over the passenger seat. Nobody else was with her. And she started across the intersection with her hands out here. The dog jumped right in between her like this, and she just kept on going. I'm not against having animals in the car. I love animals, dogs, cats, whatever it is. But to me, I asked 2 people in the city hall in a way, is there any restriction in the law at all that would prevent something like this in a way from happening? And both of them looked at me and smiled and laughed and turned around and walked away. Apparently there is none. I don't know where to start. So I assume it's gotta go to Charleston or whatever, if it goes any further. But I wanna get the feeling of some people like this, is this reasonable to have some kind of a law?
I don't know of any laws or anything where animals have to be restrained. Is there a law? I've never heard of anything. Yeah, you may get go to Charleston lobby around, and maybe they can.
We should have just talked to the guys that just left.
Yes,
Actually, the congressman and,
well, yeah,
senator.
Well, anyway, this was a small sized dog as far as that goes in a way.
Mm.
But the dogs have a complex and they can't stay by themselves in the car. They have to be with somebody, so they jumped right in front of the steering wheel and stayed there, and she left. And I thought, someday.
Yeah, it could happen.
You see that all the time too, you're right.
Well, unfortunately, if she hits something, the airbag is gonna come out and kill that animal anyway, and maybe seriously injure her.
Yeah.
With her own dog, hitting her in the face. It's not a good situation.
So right now, if someone's driving, they have the dog out the window right there, you can't do anything?
There's a distracted driving code that basically pertains to cell phones and devices in your vehicle that you're messing with instead of driving. I don't know anything about animals.
It's something may get hold of Charleston legislature and Senate.
If I were to contact somebody in Charleston,
Do you know what's
where would I start?
Right here,
Yeah.
Cody Thompson.
Yeah, Cody Thompson? You know Cody Thompson?
He's
He's our delegate, House of Delegate Representative.
him and Todd Nestor.
Yeah.
So you may talk to Todd, get hold of Todd Nestor. Or,
Ty Nestor or Cody Thompson. Cody Thompson's a teacher up at the high school, and Ty Nestor's a lawyer here in town. But they're both our representative to the state legislature, the House of Delegates. That'd be a good one to start
First
with.
name was what, Cleve?
Cody Thompson or Ty Nestor. There are 2 delegates to the state. They represent our
Thank you,
county.
Yes,
Thank you.
Okay, we'll have final settlements and annual countings.
Okay, I make a motion that we approve the seven final settlements as presented.
Motion on the floor to approve the 7 final settlements as submitted. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Who else? There's a guy coming to me on the street here. I don't see the name on there.
I think she can. All right, any budget revisions?
3.
3 budget revisions. Are they in-house?
Few of them are state.
Okay, we got a in-house budget revision from community development to property enforcement in the amount of $50,000. So I make a motion that we approve the in-house budget revision, $50,000 from community development to property enforcement.
Okay, motion on the floor to approve the budget revision, moving $50,000 from the community development to property enforcement. Any discussion? Hearing none, signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Is that a state budget?
Yeah. Does that go with this state budget revision?
No, one is ours and one is from the sheriff's office.
What's the state one?
That one's for the CARES Act funding.
So it's just increasing.
Well, that's one that goes to the commercial squad, isn't it?
Yeah.
This one?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we got an increase at 2.2, and we're putting in 500,000 to special projects and 1.7 to other.
Others contributions and
transfers.
transfers.
All right. So you'll have to do, because it's a state, just roll call.
Okay. Got a motion on the floor to approve the state budget revision, as submitted, that's, taking $500,000. And where's it gonna go to?
We're getting 2.2 million.
Okay.
2 million, 2.2.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, yeah, it was
Okay,
hidden.
2.2, okay, 2.2 million, so we put $500,000 in special projects and,
1.735
1.735 others, contribution and
transfers, yes.
This call for roll call vote. Commissioner Keesling,
Aye.
Commissioner C, aye. Motion carried.
All right, now the one for Rob. So it's $500? Is that what it is?
You
On
moved
that
five?
account,
Yeah.
yeah, they're opening an account, and I watched them do this the other day, and I forget exactly what they said it was for, but they asked for the new account, and this is the one where Mark wanted us to sign all the sheets about the
Yeah, the grant for the housing authority.
grant for housing authority.
It's to open their bank account.
So this is a state budget revision. And it's, just to increase,
Was it $500?
yeah. Taking it,
It's just to open the account.
yeah.
Got a motion on the floor to approve the state budget revision in the sheriff's office in the amount of $500. This is the, state budget revision, is a call for roll count. Commissioner Keesling,
Aye.
Commissioner C, aye. Motion carried.
So it's just the 3 budget
3
revisions?
budget revisions.
Yep.
What we got next?
This-
Division of property and
Attorney's
range assessments. Who gets these?
Clerk's office.
All right, so I make a motion that we approve the 11 erroneous assessments as submitted.
Okay, motion on the floor to approve the 11 erroneous assessments as submitted. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign, motion carries. Distressed property, do we have any?
Yeah, we have 6.
6. 6 distressed properties.
So this is just where we're sending out the letters to them?
Yeah.
Yeah, I make a motion that we approve the approval of sending out the 6 distressed property letters as
Okay.
submitted.
Got a motion for to approve the 6
Distressed property.
distressed properties letters as submitted. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign, motion carries. Next, we have fire fee adjustments. How many of those do we have?
23.
23. So we have 23 fire fee adjustments.
I make a motion that we approve the 23 fire fee adjustments as submitted.
Motion on the floor to approve the 23 fire fee adjustments as submitted. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign, motion carries. Next is pay the bills.